Welcome to Justice League Dark, right here at the Comicstorian channel. My name is Benny, and I'll be your narrator for this audio drama of issues 5 and 6. Now, Justice League Dark at DC Rebirth restarted with a brand new team led by Wonder Woman, and it has Constantine, it has Swamp Thing, it has Zatanna, it has Detective Chimp, and it has Man-Bat, and various other magical characters guest starring in it. We've already did the original storyline, and I'll link that down below, and the follow-up storyline, which was called Witching Hour. And in those storylines, the biggest thing that you need to know is that Diana has unlocked magical abilities, there's a being known as the Other Kind trying to break into our universe, and Dr. Fate has lost control, and Nabu, the being that controls the helmet, has full control and all of his powers, and he's kind of turning evil. Those are the footnotes. If you want to watch the videos as to where all of that happened, the links are down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do enjoy this. That way I know you want more Justice League Dark. And let's start the story. A chimpanzee walks into a bar. This may sound like a joke, but it's something far sadder and stranger than that. The bar belongs to perhaps the noblest man the chimp has ever known, Jim Rook. He was the Night Master, carrying the sword of the night. Rook was the protector of the magical realm known as Mira, and as a mystic superhero, he also defended the mortal world. He did it with a smile and without a complaint. The chimp watches and admires how, no matter what, Jim's duties never seemed to bring him down, not once! Jim died, giving the heroes of Earth a chance to escape a cosmic nightmare looming over them. And today is Jim's funeral. So, the chimpanzee drinks. The Oblivion Bar is filled with those of the magical world. Some approach the chimpanzee and they wish him well, but the chimpanzee doesn't respond. The bar fills with stories of old, everyone telling how their lives intermingled with Jim Rook. And the chimpanzee, he drinks. He was a detective, his mind always driving towards the solution. In the absence of a mystery, it turned inwards, and it turned dark. And he dulls it the best way that he can. A seat saved for the chimpanzee is in front of the others. They should be together. But the chimpanzee stares down and away until he leaves. And then he drinks. He's barely aware of the service going on behind him. Those sitting, grieving. And the chimpanzee, he drinks. The phantom stranger approaches the chimpanzee. He informs him that he is now the owner of the bar. That it is bound to him. And the chimpanzee drinks. The stranger tells him that Jim Rook left something for him. The Sword of the Night, the protectorship of Mira. The chimpanzee looks at the sword placed on the bar, knowing a pact was made. He knows that it is his responsibility. He knows that it means that his friend believed in the best of him, and it's time to live up to that. But first, the chimpanzee drinks. Now, in our current time, Bobo burps, with Zatanna covering her nose, stating that that is the foulest thing that she has ever smelled. Isn't he supposed to be working? But Bobo, aka Detective Chimp, yells that he is working. Can she tell how many people died in this place in the last week? Because he sure as hell can't. And the drinking is what facilitates the working. Tracy storms in saying that what he means is that it facilitates making the witch bartender that he pays next to nothing do all of the work of cleaning the remains of their dead friends. Diana stops her, asking if she's okay. And Tracy tells her no, she's really not. Diana hugs her and tells her that she mourns with her. And Tracy smacks Bobo, asking if he saw it. That's what sensitive people do, Detective Chimp. Bobo eventually spins back in his chair, asking what brings them to his fine drinking establishment. Are you moving in or something? Diana tells him that the Other Kind is already devouring Olympus as they speak. The barrier between them and their world is thinner. They could break through at any moment. Swamp Thing has been feeling rumbles in the Tree of Wonder. So he and Constantine have gone off to try and hold off whatever it is. But Constantine believed that there was something in Mira that may help them, a power of some kind. They need help getting there. Bobo stares at Diana for a moment and then says, no. Zatanna takes the night sword off the bar, telling him that it doesn't matter what he says, they are still going. Zatanna opens up the portal to Mira, and Diana tells him that he is welcome to come with them or not. But they have to move quickly. Bobo shouts, this is a bad idea, very bad idea. And as Diana, Zatanna, and Kirk Langstrom, aka Man-Bat, all walk through the portal, Bobo asks if anyone is even listening to him. Tracy tells him of course not. He got to play hero for a hot second, but they're all about to get to know him a bit better, aren't they? They're gonna go to the world that he messed up. Bobo sighs, stating that her dad was a lot nicer. And that's all he's going to say about that. Hold the fort, kid. I've got some shit to face. While Bobo finally works up the courage to cross over. Over in Salem, Massachusetts, Swamp Thing and Constantine are staring at the Tree of Wonder. They felt him coming, so they sent their allies to a distant world on a mission unlikely to bear any fruit. With who's coming, they very well may not see their friends again, but if so, what of it? The Parliament of the Tree is gone. No matter how hard Swamp Thing tries, he feels nothing, and if he dies, he is no longer certain that the Green could even regenerate a new protector in his place. Then there's Constantine. His heaviness in his lungs grow each passing day. There is a constant pain. All of the protections that the demon's blood allowed are gone. He takes out a cigarette from the pack and he says, "All right, might as well show yourself, Naboo." Blinding light swirls around them and Naboo asks, "Might I? I said it before, that it would be foolish to come here." Constantine lights his cigarette, telling him, "Yeah, well, I've never been the listening type." Constantine tells Swamp Thing to show off the new thing that they've been practicing, and with that, the ground violently shakes as Swamp Thing grows in size, with Naboo telling him, "This is unwise, magician." Constantine tells him, "Yeah, don't really care anymore. Kill him, Swampy." Swamp Thing punches down where Naboo is floating and tells him, "With pleasure." As Swamp Thing narrowly misses the mark, Constantine hits Naboo with a hellfire blast, and Naboo asks, "Do you truly think that this kind of power would even make me flinch, magician? Is that what you wish for? To burn an arcane fire? I can fulfill that desire with ease." As Naboo flies up, a voice calls out telling him that that is enough. And the Phantom Stranger appears behind Naboo, his former friend, the being that controls Dr. Fate, telling him that he believes that it was their plan to catch the attention of the higher powers of magic on this plane. Meanwhile, over in Mira, Diana charges in headfirst into the fiery breath of a dragon while the others fight off a horde of undead skeletons. Zatanna cuts down one of the skeletons, stating that this world, why is everything so undead? And Kirk Langstrom flies up, attacking, stating, "It's incredible! How does a skeleton carry itself in armor with no muscle or tendons?" Bobo tears through a monster, stating that the answer to all of those questions is horrible magic. It's always going to be the answer here. The problem is, I'm the one who cast the spell. Zatanna stops everything. "Wait, this is your fault, Detective Chimp?" And Bobo asks, "Are you really surprised by that?" Suddenly, an arrow falls out of the skies into the undead at the same time that Diana fells the giant dragon. She hops down, telling Bobo that there is the cavalry coming, and Bobo says, "Yeah, I figured as much." Just over the hills, the sounds of stampeding horses make their way to the group, with Diana telling everyone to get behind her. Bobo walks out in front, telling her, "It's okay, they aren't here for all of you." One of the horsemen rides up to our chimpanzee, telling him that it would seem their Nightmaster has returned. Bobo looks up and says, "Hey Dan, been a minute." Blue Devil steps off his horse, and he says that he should have stayed far away from Mira after what he did. "We had a pact. It's time that you paid for breaking it." And after a short while back at the castle, Blue Devil explains that it's been like this for months. Nightfall comes and the undead rise out of the earth. All the denizens of Mira have moved into the walls of the capital. Men are led into the fields at daybreak, and they spend hours breaking bones into shards in hopes that they deplete their numbers, but there is always more. Zatanna then says that she still doesn't understand how is Bobo responsible for this. Blue Devil gives a light laugh. "It's funny that you say responsible. The way I look at it, it's just the opposite. Bobo has never been responsible a day in his life." Out of another part of the capital, crowds begin to gather around the guards as they walk Bobo in chains through the city. They stop just before the prison, and Bobo looks up at a statue of Jim, stating that he's really sorry for breaking this nice magic world. Pretty dumb of him, huh? God, he could really go for a drink right about now. But back with the others, Blue Devil goes on stating that after Jim's passing, Bobo became unstable. He began to drink more and more, and they managed for a while, but then he brought in a spell book. Kurt asks how is it that a magic book broke a magic world, and Zatanna tells him that Mira isn't real in the same way that Earth is. It's a construct, a magical idea that blossomed over time into a full world with its own unique rules. Magic runs through every fiber of this world, and if they stay here long enough, it will change their bodies to fit the rules of this world. Magic on Earth is trying to force an impossible element into the literal world through the power of will. But forging an impossible element into an impossible world requires a different brand of magic. She looks over the tome, and after a few moments, she says, "Oh God, is that the spell he tried to use?" And Blue Devil tells her, yes. She groans, rubbing her head, stating, that stupid monkey. Diana asks what's wrong, and Zatanna turns back shouting that he tried to bring Jim Rook back from the dead. The problem is death doesn't function the same in this world, so Bobo basically broke death itself. She then turns back to the Blue Devil, stating that she might be able to fix this, but she's going to need all of the warlocks here and now. They need to bring whatever arcane texts and grimoires and whatever the hell they call them here. She might be able to make a sigil that binds the rules of death. Blue Devil tells her that he's not sure that they could help. They already came up with a solution, but it's not something he wants to do, but if he must. Zatanna asks what are they planning, and the Blue Devil tells her that they're planning to kill Bobo. Bobo sits in his cell, and Diana comes to him, stating that he should have told them. Bobo looks away, stating, we've all got our demons. Usually people hold up at a bar every night, don't fall asleep sober if they have something to hide. Diana tells him that they're going to fix this, and Bobo asks, why? Like, really, why? If I die, the responsibility of the Sword of Night will pass on to Dan, and he'll do a much better job. Everyone does much better when I'm not around, so let them live and let me die. Diana kneels down, telling him that she understands, really. She could barely look Swamp Thing in the eyes, knowing what the witch mark did to the Parliament of Trees. She knows what it feels like to be overwhelmed, but it's just that, a feeling. Feelings do not dictate their actions. He wants these people to live here. She holds out a flask, and Bobo takes it. Bless you. She rips the cell door off, telling him, all right, now let's go solve your problem. Meanwhile, back in Salem, Massachusetts, the fight is raging on between Nabu, aka Dr. Fate, and the Phantom Stranger. It seemed that the Phantom Stranger was winning, until Nabu started to remove his helmet. The Phantom Stranger turns back, shouting to Constantine and Swamp Thing, run! And just as he finishes, he is sucked into the realm of the helmet. As things go from bad to worse on Earth, the same can be said for Mira. The undead begin their attack on the castle, with Zatanna rushing to try and find an answer. She looks through the tome, stating that it isn't even a language. How is she supposed to? But at that moment, Diana runs with Bobo, and he tells her, let me have a quick look. Blue Devil stands up shouting, you have done enough! And Bobo tells him, the whole problem is that I haven't done enough. Blue Devil asks, and what if it gets worse? So Bobo tells him, then you could take that big ol' axe and lop off my head. I was already for it, but the princess over here doesn't seem to think it'll fix it. Bobo picks up the tome and he turns around, stating, there's the problem. I had it upside down. I need to read more and get more mead. Blue Devil yells, you must be joking. And Bobo tells him, actually, I'm not. I'm very, very intelligent, but it's hard to keep focus on a word if the word that I read reminds me of everywhere else that I've seen it. I have a headache. As a soldier runs into the throne room shouting that they are here, the creatures have gotten through the gates. Diana says that she and Blue Devil will hold them off. They need to give him time to work. Blue Devil looks at Bobo. Fine. And he leaves. The chimpanzee studies the tome as the sounds of battle echo throughout the halls. He can hear the screams, and he wants to ignore it. He desperately wants to run, but he knows that he can't. And the chimpanzee drinks. And then he sees what he missed before. There's a section that he did not read. He must have passed out before finishing closing the door. It's all right here. They just need to draw something like this picture. Once the ritual circle is complete, Bobo takes out the Sword of Night and begins to quietly change. He calls out to the gates of death to hear his command, for he is the Night Master! And his command is to close the doors! Power erupts from the sword as a blue light fills the room, and at that very second, the spell fades, and the hordes fall. The Blue Devil stops, looking around, asking if the idiot monkey actually did it. And back in the throne room, Bobo falls over. There, can we go home now? As the sun rises the next morning, Bobo and Blue Devil meet out in the hills to talk. Blue Devil tells Bobo that he will stay and rebuild the realm, but there's something else. Jim's son is out there, the true heir to the Sword of Night. He must be found. Bobo gets ready to open the portal to return home, but as everyone gets ready, Blue Devil pulls Diana aside and tells her to be careful. She believes in him, and when it counts, he's going to let them down, and it's going to cost them everything. Zatanna and Kirk pass through the portal, and Bobo calls out asking Diana if she's coming. She quickly hurries along into the portal, but as Zatanna steps through, she feels a sharp pain in her armor. She takes off her jacket to see blood dripping from her arm, and she says that it's Constantine's handwriting. Something is very, very wrong. Diana asks what is it, and Zatanna tells her that it states, find Mordru. Just then, roots burst out of the floorboard, and Swamp Thing begins to take shape. Bobo yells, come on, we just cleaned up this place. And Swamp Thing tells everyone, John Constantine, has fallen at the hands of Dr. Fate. The other kind is here. The war for magic survival begins now. And there you have it. The next story in the Justice League Dark storyline, which features Swamp Thing, Wonder Woman, Zatanna, Detective Chimp, the Man-Bat, and various other characters. It's awesome. I've enjoyed this since its beginning, but we didn't continue the storyline because we were waiting for that movie to come out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, if you want to know more of this story, this brings us up to issue 6. There are currently 20 or so issues out at the time of recording this. So if you want to get those other 14, I need you to give this video a like, hang out here on the channel, give us a subscription. All of that would be great, and it'd show your support. You can also go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian, where you can sign up and get early access to these videos. Thank you for your support, and I will see you next time right here.